Tonight, our coverage as a report uncovers deep-rooted anti-Black racism in Canada's federal government. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Elia Batul. A report released by the government reveals there is a systemic anti-Black racism within Canada's federal public service. The study is conducted by Dr. Rachel Zellers and the Federal Black Executives Network. 73 senior Black employees have been interviewed. The findings show disturbing patterns of discrimination and mistreatment. The report indicates allegations of abuse, violence, and harassment. The incidents have led to severe mental health consequences, including use of antidepressants and suicide. The report shows Black female executives have been particularly targeted. 78% have reported being harassed. The report also reveals a pending class action lawsuit seeking $2.5 billion in compensation for the abuse of Black public servants. The report urges for systemic reform and increased Black representations at all levels. The Treasury Board has acknowledged that there is a systemic racism in the federal public service. However, the board says there are protocols to address workplace complaints instead of resorting to lawsuits. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is reactivating a special cabinet committee to strengthen Canada-US relations following Donald Trump's re-election. The committee will be chaired by Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland. It will address critical issues between the two nations such as economic growth and trade. Key ministers, including Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly and Defense Minister Bill Blair, will serve on the committee. Experts say the government intends to leverage strong ties with Trump's inner circle, particularly in areas like the auto sector and China's economic impact. Details have not been provided. The committee has yet to meet. A memorial attended by the Governor General, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and the public celebrated Murray Sinclair's life as a beacon of integrity and compassion. Sinclair was the first Indigenous judge in Manitoba. He led the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. The memorial was held yesterday in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Sinclair's son shared his father's legacy in transforming Canada. Governor General Murray Sinclair and Prime Minister Trudeau reflected on Sinclair's courageous efforts to expose injustices and create a better path for all Canadians. The commemorative service also featured musical tributes. Sinclair's colleague and survivors expressed profound gratitude for his services. Flags at the Legislative Building in Winnipeg and Parliament Building in Ottawa remained at half-mast until after the memorial. Today is Remembrance Day. It is a Memorial Day observed in Commonwealth states since the end of the First World War. It honors members of armed forces who died in the line of duty. A recent poll regarding Remembrance Day reveals gaps in Canadian historical knowledge. The poll has been conducted by Ipsos Research for Historica Canada. It shows many Canadians are unaware of key historical figures and events that shaped the country. The survey shows 82% of participants failed a Canadian history quiz. Most of the respondents have been unable to identify major milestones like the Battle of Vimy Ridge or Canada's Confederation in 1867. Nearly 30% of survey respondents could not identify the year Canada became a country through Confederation. A similar percentage couldn't identify Sir John Macdonald as Canada's first Prime Minister. Experts attribute this gap to the lack of mandatory history courses in many provinces. Advocates are calling for the implementation of educational standards to ensure Canadians are grounded in their history. Health officials in British Columbia are investigating the first human case of avian influenza in Canada. A teenager from the Fraser Health region has tested positive for the virus. The patient is receiving care at British Columbia's Children's Hospital. Public health officials are tracking the patient's contacts and monitoring them for symptoms. Avian influenza primarily affects birds. However, it can occasionally spread to humans, typically through direct contact with infected animals or contaminated environments. The virus can cause severe symptoms such as pneumonia and organ failure. Over 900 cases have been reported around the world since 1997. Many of the patients have died after contracting the virus. Officials are urging residents to avoid contact with sick or dead animals. Earlier this week, Vancouver Island's health authority warned residents of a possible exposure to avian flu at a petting farm. Over 6.4 million birds in the province are estimated to have been impacted. Fourteen school boards in Ontario are suing Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram for $8 billion. The boards claim the platforms have harmed the mental health of students. The boards allege that these social media giants have rewired how children think, behave, and learn. The suit was originally filed in March by 4 boards for $4.5 billion. It now includes 12 more boards and 2 private schools. The boards are also demanding changes in platform design to reduce harm to students. The social media giants deny the allegations. Snapchat claims it fosters connections among close friends. Meta says it is committed to providing safe experiences for teens. The case is set to be heard in February. It follows similar lawsuits from around 500 U.S. school boards. Baseless social media attacks are targeting Muslim and Arab communities post-U.S. presidential elections. Supporters of Kamala Harris are directing their frustration at Free Palestine voters. They particularly blame Arab and Muslim voters for the defeat faced by the Democrats. Critics of Harris's campaign argue that her failure to address key issues like inflation and the economy has alienated voters, including Arab Americans. In Dearborn, Michigan, Harris lost support to President-elect Donald Trump. The area has a large Arab American population. Israel continues its series of deadly attacks in the Middle East. Airstrikes today have killed dozens of civilians across Gaza, Lebanon, and Syria. In Jabalia, northern Gaza, 36 Palestinians have been killed in a single assault. Overnight assaults on the Nusayrat refugee camp have killed a journalist, Mohammed Abdul Aziz Khirs, and his wife. The attacks have left many wounded, including an elderly woman. The Palestinian Center for Human Rights reports an assault on Jabalia yesterday targeting one family. 24 family members have died, including 14 children and 6 women. An attack on Almat village in Lebanon has killed 23 civilians. Israeli forces have raided a residential building in Damascus, Syria, killing at least 7 people. In Yemen, the Houthis have launched missiles at a military base near Tel Aviv. The retaliation comes as the US and the UK have targeted Houthi-controlled regions. Israel's genocide in Gaza has killed at least 43,603 Palestinians since October 7th. More than 100,000 have been injured. In Lebanon, the ongoing violence has killed 3,189 civilians. 14,000 civilians have been injured. Israel faces a genocide case at the International Court of Justice for its actions in Gaza. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News Canada. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV.